again, the convergence of blockchain and AI. Now, with AI, you can expect within this year, we're going to see deepfake so real, you cannot tell the difference. People watching this on live stream, they will not know what's in here.
We're not here.
We're having dinner somewhere else. So to counter that, you need some form of digital watermark. That is actually a cryptographic evidence
that you're
this
real.
Is real.
Yeah.
It's my signature, his signature.
Who puts that? The tech companies? By the way, they're so excited at the back. They're trading crypto on the back of all these comments.
It's all your fault. No, we control our private key. It's going to be private public
It'll
key.
be personal.
We'll have control.
It's going to be like your irises, your fingerprints. It'll be a digital.
But it's stored on blockchain,
and
witnessed by the global population.
Everybody knows.
Cannot be faked.
Yeah. But does this change everything for just capital markets?
It will. Yeah, I mean, my gosh, if we could tokenize bonds and stocks tomorrow, one of the great things that BlackRock is being accused of is how much vote we have. I wouldn't vote anymore because we would be able, through tokenization, to know the owner of record instantaneous, and each owner of record will do their proxy voting. I would love that outcome. No, but it would democratize investing in all ways that we can't imagine.
Even political systems, how you vote in a country can be changed by that.
And do you think that, again, the Trump administration will accelerate that?
I think they're moving that direction. How far they actually will go remains to be seen.
But if you do have a digital validator, like your fingerprints or your irises, I mean, you could tokenize voting. You could do everything. And so it will change how we think and how we live and what we do. And
we've been talking to some Southeast Asian governments, including Malaysia, Thailand, Philippines, Indonesia. All of them historically have the populations who are treating black market bitcoins and what have you. But now the governments are realizing U.S. is driving a global policy shift. So they're now doing something very clever. They're saying, you know what, we're going to issue a new form of digital ID to every single citizen. Along with that is a digital wallet.
Which Brazil,
that's when people will
Brazil and India has already done.
You're both so fighting.
I mean, if you ask me right now, the thing that is not talked about enough, but is coming to your neighborhood faster than you think, this AI revolution is not made up. It's not overhyped. You are already, they're probably, I know, I was talking to some people backstage who are associated with businesses here in the Hartford community. I guarantee you, you're going to start seeing shifts in white-collar work as a consequence of what these new AI models can do. And so that's going to be more disruption, and it's going to speed up.
The thing that terrifies me is apparently there are still some financial institutions that will accept a voice print as authentication for you to like move a lot of money or do something else. You say a challenge phrase and they just do it. That is a crazy thing to still be doing. Like AI has fully defeated that. AI has fully defeated most of the ways that people authenticate currently, other than like passwords, but all of these like fancy, you know, take a selfie and wave or do your voice or whatever. I am very nervous that we have an significant impending fraud crisis because of this. We have tried, I think other people in our industry have tried to sort of warn people like, hey, just because we're not releasing the technology doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Some bad actor is going to release it. This is not a super difficult thing to do. This is coming very, very soon. And, you know, there's obviously some reports now of these sort of like ransom attacks where people have the voice of your kid or your parent and they make this urgent call. That is going to get so compelling. Society has to deal with this problem more generally, but people are going to have to change the way they interact. They're going to have to change the way they verify, like this person calling me. Right now it's a voice call. Soon it's going to be a video FaceTime. It'll be indistinguishable from reality. And teaching people how to authenticate in a world like that, how to think about, you know, the fraud impacts. This is a huge deal.
Please get seated. Get seated, please. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وصلى الله على نبي الكريم. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kano State, Alhaji Abba Kabir Yusuf, and all other excellencies here present, Your Royal Highnesses, the Emirs of Kano, Gaya, Rano, and Karai, members of the National Assembly, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Let me start by thanking the Kano State government for organizing this occasion and also thank them for inviting me. Let me also thank the committee that has done an excellent work which we all support. At this point, I would like to speak to the members, our members of the National Assembly and State Assembly here in Kano, and all those that we can call our own. We have seen what has happened in the past, and I think it's important for you and all of us to consider the mistakes of others while we have an opportunity to do our jobs now. I remember especially 1999 to 2003, and of course right through to this National Assembly. We have seen a situation where our members were given the opportunity to really represent their constituents. But unfortunately, on many occasions, they were compromised. We have seen a situation whereby the rich in the country worked so hard to raise a lot of money to bribe members of the National Assembly, especially those who are representing us. And as a result of that, we now have a tilted arrangement in terms of resources sharing in the country. Many people will think that they have won. I don't believe so. Because I believe the issues that we have today in this country, especially in this part of the country, has to do with mismanagement of resources by leaders at the national level and state levels, and even at local government levels. And of course, it has to do with the little that had to be given to those concerned. Now we have opportunity again, and we are very much aware that the rich once more is working so hard to take from the poor. And I'm sure all of us at leadership level in this country are members of Kwankwaso, members of NNPP, even though what is going to happen is a bipartisan arrangement. People representing us, whether in our party or any other party for that matter, must stand firm and do the right thing. And I want to appeal to the presiding officers, which fortunately I was one of them, to do the right thing when they are considering this amendment. We want to know by name of those who supported A or B in this amendment, because it is very important, and that is what the law and the Constitution says. So we are keeping our eyes on all those concerned. Let me also advise those who are struggling by all means to take everything, to remember that some of the issues that we have in this part of the country today has to do with lack of enough resources and, of course, mismanaging the little that comes in. And that's why we have insecurity, we have poverty, and so on and so forth. And of course, it is happening here mainly, but it affects everywhere, because like desert, it will go to everywhere. Let me, at this point, advise the federal government, especially, on the distribution of federal resources. From the information available to us, it's like most of the national budget is now tilting to one direction in this country. Yesterday, I was to come by air. Unfortunately, my air line decided to shift to 8 p.m. I had to come by road. From Abuja to Kaduna to Kano was a hell, terrible, very bad road. And this is the road that was started many years ago, right from the beginning of the leadership of the APC. Now we are told that there is a road now from the south to east. Let me say at this point that we support infrastructure anywhere in this country. In fact, I was telling myself that I wished that road was done before 2023 election, because I was the only aspirant or candidate who traveled to all nooks and corners across this country. I would have used that road. So we support roads everywhere, and any other thing that is good for the people, especially for the masses. But a situation where government is taking our resources and dumping it in what part of the country, and other parts of the country are left just like that, I don't believe that is the right thing to do by the government itself. And this is the time for the government to change, to convince our people that the government is not just on one side of the country. Once again, Your Excellency the Governor, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I hope all those who have got one thing or the other to add to this committee work should do it between now and Saturday, when the committee will come to Kano for the hearing. Thank you very much, and God bless you. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وصلى الله على نبي الكريم.
The game is on, ladies and gentlemen. The coveted consensorship candidate that will emerge come 2031 is eating up. As we know, by the gentleman agreement done by Tonabi after Tinubu 8 years, right? Because he's still going to win 2027. The button will be passed to the north. So, and we know as it is today, the north, they are stars, and I mean stars, potential presidential candidates from all the 19 states. So it's not going to be easy. So anytime I, compare presidential election as an Olympic sport, these are the things that make me come to that conclusion. You have for Olympic has qualification standard. And if you are blessed enough to come from a country like Nigeria, Jamaica, Britain, United States, which other country again? I know that other than the Olympic standard, you have to meet that country standard first before even if you meet the Olympic standard. If you don't meet the country standard, or you don't meet the threshold, which is first three, you are not going. Why? Why these few countries? Is because of the pool or the depth of the talents that this country has, right? First of all, to Olympic, in every event, especially track and field, every country has to produce 3 athletes in each event. Especially, let's use the 100 meter for example. 3 athletes. Is it 3 or 2 now? Say, I think they reduced it to 2, if I'm not mistaken. No, 3 athletes. Right? That's the 100 meter flat, 200 meter flat, 400 meters, 800, on and on and on. So apart from the marathons that you have to, feature a team. So country like Nigeria that, let's say the Olympic standard for 100 meter is 10:00 seconds to qualify to be at the Olympic. Right? That's the world the Olympic won. That's the standard. Now, coming as a Nigerian or as a British or from America, from Jamaica, all these big country when it comes to track and field, I say big. And Nigeria, for instance, in a season, you are probably going to have 5 people that will run 10:00. For instance, that's the Olympic standard. And Olympic require 3 people per country. Now, if you have 4 people in Nigeria who are running 10:00, in America you have like 10, just like that. You can't take the 5 of them at the same time. So you have to do what? Set a standard. Nigeria will set a standard. They'll say, okay, Olympic 10:00. Now say, okay, you have to run 9:99 to even qualify to come to what? The national trials. Because you can't take all the 5, you have to set the national trials. So going to the national trials, other than making the Olympic standard, meeting the Nigerian standard. Now, if you don't meet the Nigerian standard, no, you have to make sure you finish among the first 3. Finish among the first 3 for you to be selected to represent Nigeria. So that's exactly what is happening to the North, or what is going to happen, what is already happening to the North. So 2027 election for the Northern political animals is not just about defeating Tinubu. It's more of about defeating Obi, but most importantly, individually, strategically be in a position to be selected as what consensus candidates. There are going to be a lot of criteria other than just being popular among the other candidates. How disciplined you are, how religious you are, there's so many criteria, whatever they are going to set for themselves. So that is what these candidates are running for. There's a pressure, enormous pressure. People like Atiku, Kwankwaso, Erufai, you name them, that are strategically either number 1 seat come 2023. So what you are seeing is everybody scheming and pulling their A card, the best of their game, to make sure they are in a better position. Now, what is Kwankwaso him here? How is Kwankwaso playing his own game? Right? Somebody who has a sitting governor, over 1 million votes, and you name it. But that's not even enough when you have Atiku that has more votes than him, more national appeal than him, a former vice president, you name it. Right? So Kwankwaso game is, rather than joining PDP and struggle and all that kind of stuff, or going with the coalition, it's like, my philosophy, my ideology, whatever, is kind of aligned with that of APC, which is about socialism. I mean, go into that some other time. But as somebody as a sitting governor in Kano, one of the most popular states in the country, that you actually have to win, or at least, in order for you to become president. That's a kind of a lot of advantage, but it's not enough. In need, for the fact that the state, yes, the governorship of ACP is under ANPP, but whether we like it or not, APC is more popular in the state. So he is asking for me to join APC. I need to be in control of the structure of at least the state's APC structure. Give it to me. It makes sense. That's a good bargaining power to have if you actually have the structure of APC in Kano. That gives you a lot of leverage. So he's asking for that. And the APC gang, I don't know where they are. I don't think it's I was predicting that he's going to get the chairmanship of the APC, but they give it to somebody else. Hence, this speech that that was delivered yesterday, Abi Wednesday, ahead of a constitutional review committee that is touring the country. So the speech was well crafted, was deliberate. And it was out of anger, I think. Whatever he's asking for, he's not getting it at this point. Might wake up tomorrow is a different story, but from the tone of the speech and the accusation of infrastructure and all those bullshits says a lot about what the Bola Tinubu-led APC is willing to compromise or not. So we'll go a little bit into the details about the politics of Kano as we see it today. Kano State, we know, is one of the most politically strategic states in Nigeria. It's at the center stage. It's at the center of a growing political storm that threatens the dismantling the existing order within the All Progressive Congress. Kano State, Lagos State, Rivers State are a big deal among other states. Their voting pool power and the amount of cash that is coming out from those states is, if you are in a competition and you are against those states, now only God will help you. Good luck. We testified to that when he lost Rivers, led by Amechi. Pretty much Kano follows, Lagos followed, and that was the end. The state long considered a stronghold of northern political influence is facing unprecedented internal issue that could determine not just the fate of the ruling party in Kano, but potentially influence national outcome in the next general election. At the heart of this looming crisis is the complex web of political loyalties, rivalries, and ambitions involve Kano's most formidable political actors. Former governor and ex-national chairman of the APC, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganguje, politically firebrand, and former Kano State Engineer Rabiu Kwankwaso. These people that politically, if you say they be twins, or brother, junior brother, and senior brother, whatever you categorize them, you are right, because they've been best of friends, they've been best of enemies, and best of rivalries. Whatever you tell me, see to describe them, you are right. Yeah, I mean, this is not the end. This, for me, I think this is just the beginning of their political romance. It's just getting started. They are still very ambitious. These are not just the only two political juggernauts in Kano. The deputy speaker there is I mean, the guy we don't follow Akpabio whole ground. The man is doing everything within his power to be Bola Tinubu's best man in the Senate. I'm talking about none other person by Senator Barrow Jibril, who is the deputy Senate president. Senator Abdurrahman Kao Sumaila, that's another one. Then House of Representative members such as I don't know, say this man don't retire as Honorable Hassan Adodogwa. So they are all power brokers in Kano. It's not just about Kokoso or Ganguji already, but we cannot help but see these two people at the front of this, at the front of the park. They stand out. Konkoso and Ganguji stand out. Fortunately, their success or ascended to power rub each other one after. I mean, one they help each other get to each wherever they are today. Honorable Kabiru Hassan Rurum, Honorable Sani Rogo, and Honorable Sani Madaki Gani, among others. The political climate in Kano today cannot be understood without revisiting the tenor and subsequent fallout from the leadership style of both Danguje and Kano and Konkoso. Danguje, a two-time governor and once a loyalist to Konkoso under the non-defunct AMPP and then APC, eventually turned rivalry in a dramatic political divorce that redefined Kano politics. Kwankwaso charismatic and ambition moved to establish the new Nigerian People's Party, leading his prodigy, Engineer Abba Kabir Yusuf, to electoral victory in 2023 as the current governor. Happens to be his in-law, by the way. However, that victory is beginning to look polemic. Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf administration has been embroiled in controversy, particularly over the wide-scale demolition exercise carried out across major commercial and residential area in Kano. Yeah, that was as far as I'm concerned, still a wrong move, including Satin, Kwari, Rimi, Danzakara, and behind Kano Polytechnic markets were flattened, business destroyed, and livelihood shattered in move the administration claim was to reclaim public land. But the business community and many residents, it was a brutal act of political vengeance and economic sabotage. You're not wrong, man. Not wrong at all. That's exactly what it is. Uh, but again, it's called politics. The single issue has created widespread resentment among Kano citizens, and many comes to define the 2027 election narrative. The fallout has not only weakened the NMPP image, but also placed Kwankwaso in a tight corner amid mounting pressure and the rising dominance of a resurgent African Democratic Congress, ADC, in Kano. Really? So are we saying the PDP is metamorphosing into ADC? Wala. Kano is about to get more hotter and spicier, right? Reports suggest that Kwankwaso in advanced talks to return to APC, a move that is both desperate and dangerous. The rationale is clear. His grip on the NMPP is loosening. His alliance with Governor Abba Kyari Yusuf is under scrutiny and his legacy is at risk. Should Kwankwaso return to APC, he would seek nothing less than total control over the party structure in Kano. Makes sense. That is possible. Sadlani SEC APC stakeholder, many of whom he once clashed with. This includes languages, Senator Barrow, Senator Kwankwaso Sumala, and popular rep like Dogwa and Rorom, all of whom bear the scars of political battle with Kwankwaso and are likely to submit to his leadership. They will not do. It's about to get sweet and sexy, Kano. Hey, we can see how they will take form this team. Because just like if you whoever know among all these men, anybody we no knows that him be the weakest link, then he is the weakest link. That's what it is. The internal wrangling in Kano APC has reached fever pitch. At least 65% of APC grassroots loyalists are strongly opposed to any alliance with Kwankwaso. Wahala for anybody. The possibility of his dominance has already triggered threats of anti-party activities, mass defection, and internal sabotage. Additionally, Kwankwaso is known for not forgetting politically disloyalty. His rumor return to APC is already sending shockwave among those who openly. Atiku might just be the winner in this whole fight between Kwankwaso and the APC. Atiku will just come and just dominate everybody, dominate the whole Kano with this ADC movement. So it should be interesting. But if Tinubu will carry vice presidency for 2027 from Kano, we change everything. But who he will carry that will work? At this point, even if he give Kwankwaso, I don't think it will work. I mean, he will work in terms of them getting the results, but I will not. Kwankwaso in the vice presidential position, I don't see him being having enough access to dominate the structure of the party, even for in states. Those motherfuckers will not take any order from her, even if he's the vice president, knowing that only one term they will stay in power. So I don't know. Chairmanship of the party would have been the best, but they lost it. So vice presidency, it's not gonna work. Not gonna work, as far as I'm concerned. So we'll see. If they conquer Deputy Senate President Barrow as the running mate to Tinubu, what now happens? There's growing fear that Kwankwaso-led APC will prioritize revenge, not reconciliation. Furthermore, of course, I mean, the first moves of the Abba Kyari administration support that argument already. Reportedly feel betrayal by the presidency and party leadership. His camp is fuming over his removal, and his supporters That's a Dangoje now, abi? So the former governor of Gangoje recently ousted as APC chairman reportedly feel betrayed by the presidency and party leadership. His camp is fuming over his removal, and his supporters may refuse to mobilize for the re-election of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in protest. Gangoje political base, solid, loyal, and deeply rooted, cannot be ignored. Alive. I mean, Tinubu holds Gangoje by his balls, by his, that scandal, that video of Babariga and Dollar. That shit will be in his fucking head till he die. They go use them against her. Still, so the safest place for him to go is to join ADC. But if what of ADC no pull her off, what is he gonna do? Is he gonna come back? They go just go bring a fire, come out again, finish him. So it's I don't know. I can't do nothing. He can't do shit. He can't do jack. He ain't going nowhere. Adding fuel to the fire is the exclusion of powerful grassroots figure like His Excellency Murtala Sule Garau, fondly called Commander AK Yaki Seda Kwanda wait a minute Kwamanda then Commander Seda Commander, and the removal of former State House Minister Abdullahi Tijani Wazo. I think Tinubu has I think he no get choice. He will just pick. He need to pick somebody from Kano as as his running mate. That will give him the results. But with that person not being in a position to take advantage of take over the structure of the party, I don't know. That's not guaranteed. I don't care who he is. The development are pushing Kano APC deeper into leadership vacuum with multiple power blocking pulling in different directions. Now, only that thing will settle this thing. Once you carry a vice presidential candidate for that place, I think that will sort everything out. As the APC continue its internal struggle, the African Democratic Congress ADC is quietly consolidating power with the aggrieved NNPP and APC member decamping. ADC is emerging as a new political force in Kano. Some insider predict that up to 40% of current NNPP loyalists could shift to ADC, while delusion APC loyalists may either abstain from the 2027 election or work behind the scene to sabotage the party if unresolved. This crisis could result in the loss of Kano State, a vital voting bloc for the APC in the next general election. The grassroots, particularly the businesses community who suffer under Governor Abba devolution, please. So at ADC already they get strong foot in there. That's just PDP anyway, as far as I'm concerned. And PDP be the the northern PDP now go be ADC. At by the time everything is said and done, you go see say the whole northern PDP will converge and then go be ADC. So the party will be divided into two. Sule Lamido and Atiku will lead that northern PDP to ADC, while Wike and his gang will take the other half. Wow. Unlikely to forgive or forget, Kano State is currently navigating a volatile political intersection. Kwankwaso potential return to the APC could either solidify the party grip on the state or destroy it from within. Ganguji loyalists are waiting for clarity from the National Party, and the lack of cohesive leadership is breeding distrust and defection. Desperate. Tinubu has to do something swift. And as far as I'm concerned, picking a running mate from that state will settle the dust. Mr. President Bola Tinubu faced a delicate situation, embracing Kwankwaso and risks alienating APC core base in Kano, or rejecting him and watch the ADC grow stronger. Either path comes with consequences. Kano is not just another state, it is a political powerhouse. What happens in Kano vibrates throughout the national political scene. For now, all eyes are on the political wrestling watch unfolded in the Asian city. See? So Tinubu got to do something. And as far as I'm concerned, he's picking the vice presidential candidate. And I don't know where picking Kwankwaso we do it. We do it for him for sure. Oh, for sure. But is he going to help Kwankwaso? No. So in order for him to destroy the ADC that is growing at a remarkable pace in Kano and NMPP, now to carry someone that this aggrieved party can easily work with. I don't know who that person is in Kano. I don't know who that person is. Jibril Barrow, young. I don't know. I don't know where would I be, but in fuck up. Last election, almost killed someone, if I'm not mistaken. He was arrested and later released. Anyway, Nakano. There's a code Mekada and Pika. I was also catching Munit Uwa Udole Azamadi. That's Kano right there. The country no fit go forward without Kano. So code Mekada and Pika. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, plus we close the Kwankwaso chapter for now and look forward to other news. Okay.
Advise the federal government, especially, on the distribution of federal resources. From the information available to us, it's like most of the national budget is now tilting to one direction in this country. Yesterday, I was to come by air. Unfortunately, my airline decided to shift our takeoff from 3 to 8 p.m. I had to come by road. From Abuja to Kaduna to Kano was a hell, terrible, very bad road. And this is the road that was started many years ago, right from the beginning of the leadership of the APC. Now we are told that there is a road now from the south to east. Let me say at this point that we support infrastructure anywhere in this country. In fact, I was telling myself that I wished that road was done before 2023 election, because I was the only aspirant or candidate who traveled to all nooks and corners across this country. I would have used that road. So we support roads everywhere and any other thing that is good for the people, especially for the masses. But a situation where government is taking our resources and dumping it in what part of the country, and other parts of the country are left just like that, I don't believe that is the right thing to do by the government itself. And this is the time for the government to change, to convince our people that the government is not just on one side of the country. Once again, Your Excellency the Governor, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I hope all those who have got one thing or the other to add to this committee work should do it between now and Saturday, when the committee will come to Kano for the hearing. Thank you very much, and God bless you.